Australia now has 178 billionaires. That's 17 more than last year, an increase in the number of Australian billionaires of more than 10%. That's almost 1.5 new billionaires every month in a year dominated by discussions of cost of living, hard choices and financial struggles. Between them, these 178 Australian billionaires received an extra $25 billion, increasing their hoard to $686 billion. In the time since I started speaking, the private wealth of Australia's billionaires grew by $20,000. By the time I finish this speech, it will have grown by $250,000. By the end of the day, $72 million. So let's put that in perspective. If I was to stand here and count out loud to 1 billion without a break, it would take me 24 years. If these billionaires were surrounded by their cash, they would be incapable of counting it in their lifetimes. At the same time, right now, 3.7 million people in Australia are living in poverty. 750,000 Australian children are living in poverty, unable to have their basic needs met. Countless parents this morning spent precious minutes of their time searching for an extra 50 cents to make up the kids' lunch order money. People across our country are struggling to make ends meet, angsting over how to juggle payments on this month's mortgage, energy bill and phone bill without getting cut off. 1 in 3 Australian households report that they're skimping on food to make ends meet. The $25 billion in additional private wealth extracted just last year by Australia's billionaires could have covered the electricity bills for every single Australian household for that year. It could have lifted 1 million Australians out of poverty. This grotesque accumulation of wealth was not inevitable. It is the product of a system designed to reward the already wealthy and already powerful. But in a democratic country, it does not have to be this way. In Australia, it's still the voters and not the billionaires who ultimately call the shots. And that means that the government of the day can and should, if they know what's good for them, take active steps to reduce apparent influence of the uber wealthy, to redistribute that wealth and negate that power. Because right now, the 1% aren't just accumulating wealth, they're buying political power. Every single person in poverty is a policy failure of the government, a deliberate decision by the current government to keep that person poor in favour of allowing extra wealth to accumulate to the already wealthy. And every political donation taken from those with extreme wealth is an endorsement by a political party of not just the economic status quo, but also the power status quo. The 20 richest Australians now hold more wealth than the bottom 3 million households. Taxing just the extremely rich 1% of Australians on their excess wealth could eliminate poverty in our country. We could fully fund dental and mental into Medicare. We could properly fund the NDIS. We could ensure that every single person in our country gets a fair go. And if the Labor government won't deliver it, people will vote for a party that will. And in Australia, the only party advocating for a fair distribution of our national wealth is the Greens. We've consistently argued for a fairer tax system and an end to the influence of large corporations and billionaires in our political system.